when I was a child, my grandmother used to make soap from animal fat. And some ingredients that she was buying from the shop, like sodium carbonate, which we use for different purposes in the kitchen, and then she would put it in, and then she'd stir, and then at some stage, you've got this soap,
the good bar soap.
Yes, and that's just science.
Exactly.
And they were doing it without understanding the dynamics. And I mean, just look at soap. We use it. It's essential. We use it every day.
Exactly.
I had to bath this morning, so we import these things, and we could simply do it here. We could get that oils from sunflower. We could really make it work. Yeah, so that's the kind of mindset that we want to encourage.
Exactly. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching us from. Welcome to Africa Speaks with me, Sich. In the words of Nelson Mandela, education is the greatest weapon you can use to change the world. One academy that is in agreement with that is Platonic Academy, that is shaping minds through science and mathematics. To tell us more, I'm joined by the co-founder of Platonic Academy, Mr. Frank Mungunda. Good afternoon, Frank. Welcome to Africa Speaks. Thank you so much for agreeing to be on the show.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
All right. Thank you. So let's talk about Platonic Academy. Give me a brief history on the establishment of the academy.
Platonic Academy started a few years ago, say 4 to 5 years ago.
Okay.
We started as, at that stage, we were not even really looking into being an academy. We're just helping two brothers with maths and science. Actually, my wife was helping them with maths, and later then I stepped in with science. And then after that, word to mouth, the group just kept growing up to this day. So we have about more than 100 learners now.
Wow, those are quite a lot.
Yes.
All right. And which grades are you guys catering to? Lower grades, higher grades, university? So who are your students?
At this point in time, we focusing on grade 10, 11, and 12.
Okay.
Last year, we had it from grade 8 up to grade 12.
Oh.
But we trimmed it this year because we wanted to focus on the senior curriculum. So, but I also have a few learners, but that's more private based that we help with university as well. So I don't know, maybe we'll even expand in that direction. Yeah.
And which subjects exactly? Because I know science, but which subjects of science are you guys offering here? We
focus on chemistry, physics and biology, and then obviously mathematics. English is also an option.
Okay.
Because we're looking into getting into a fully functional private school, which has maths and science, and obviously you need a language there as well.
Of course.
Yes.
So for now, no English.
We have.
You do have English right now.
Yes, we have English. English is mainly for the NAMCO learners.
Okay.
Yes.
So tell me more about the NAMCO learners. Like, is it an agreement that the academy has with NAMCO, or is just NAMCO learners that registered and decided to look for an academy and they found Platonic?
Yes. Okay. So they basically were looking for tutors.
Okay.
And then since this is the last year that NAMCO is, Namibia is offering the old curriculum grade 12s. So they do need face-to-face, especially with maths and science subjects. You constantly have to have regular classes. So they approached us, and then we offering the service for them on full-time tuition.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's except that we can't enroll them for exams at this point in time. Therefore, they have to be enrolled at NAMCO first, and then we do the face-to-face classes. Since NAMCO doesn't do the regular face-to-face classes throughout the year.
So Platonic Academy does it?
Yes, we cater for that.
Just to clarify so that the viewers get it, the NAMCO learners register with NAMCO, and when they come to Platonic, they also pay, right?
That's correct.
Exactly,
that's correct,
so that they don't think that they just register that side and come here and have their classes for free, but they actually also pay here, but they do not write examinations here.
Yes, that's correct. That's correct. Just to emphasize, you know, when you register at NAMCO, NAMCO is a exam center.
Yes.
So you register for your exams, and then you come to us as private tutoring teaching institution, which is completely different from NAMCO. these are two different institutions. Basically, the idea is to complement one another.
Okay.
Because NAMCO only offers face-to-face lessons. I think it's 5 weeks in a year. So the remaining, over 360 weeks, we offer the classes. So these are separate. And yes, it's a tuition service we offer. So there are monthly fees to that.
Okay. Can you walk me through the fees? The fees right here at Platonic, registration, subject fees. Just walk me through a little bit.
First, there's a once-off registration of 400 Namibian dollars.
Okay.
And then we have a subject fee. So we charge the same for all the subjects on all the different levels. So that fee is $380 per subject per month. Okay. We encourage learners to take at least 2 subjects because of logistical challenges. But if it happens that you have 4 to 5 subjects, then we normally look into some discount in that as well.
So those are the fees that the students should pay. And how does one register? How does one become a member or a client of Platonic Academy?
The easiest is to connect with us on our website.
Okay.
That is at www.pan.edu.na. So the PAN is just an acronym or a short version for Platonic Academy in Namibia. So if you link on this website or click on this website, you would find I think on every page there is an apply now button there.
Okay.
So you just click on that button, then you can do the application online. And then you submit the form. Immediately we have your information, then we will revert back to you.
Okay. And what are the qualifications or the criteria that you guys look into to accept the learners? Do you have a certain criteria?
For the NAMCO learners, the first requirement is you must be registered at NAMCO. Even on the form, there is a section where you need to put in the NAMCO registration or the NAMCO student number.
Oh, yes, they do have.
That's the very first requirement. And of course, you need to be registered for the subjects that we offer. Basically, those are the only 2 requirements. Not that you need to have a certain grade. We take from any grade.
Any grade. And the normal high school students, is there no criteria for them?
No. They're also in the normal high school. You need to be in high school.
Of course.
And then just do the subjects that we're offering.
Okay. Right now, do you guys offer classes online, with COVID-19, or is everything just like on site?
Yeah, it's actually COVID has shaped us to adapt.
Yes.
Last year, from April, we started with an online platform. Very, very interactive. It's continuously growing.
Yes.
So we have been, since April up to December, it's about 8 months that we really have up to now. So yes, we have an online platform as well.
Okay.
Even on the application, if you apply, you can select whether you want to do a face-to-face or you want to do an online. So we do have quite good online programs as well. Okay.
And do you guys have a cut-off date for when someone can register? Because, there are academies that say you can only register January and February, or can I come in October and say I want to be part? Do you guys have a cut-off date for that?
Not really, but we would say the sooner the better, because by the time you come in October, we might have done almost 75% of the work already, and then we will not obviously go back to that. But if you come in October, you might just have a certain need in certain topics, then we also cater for that. So we try to be as flexible as we can.
And just a little bit about your educational background. Did you study education? Did your wife study education? Because you guys are now both offering this, the education to the students. Did you guys study education?
From my side, I did science, more specifically chemistry. So I am actually a chemist by profession, up to master's level.
Oh, wow.
And I have been teaching this is my 8th year that I've been teaching as a teacher. We know that these different phases are there based on the particle arrangement, based on the intermolecular forces between the particles, based on the spacing, based on how they move, right? Now we want to see how does the thermal properties of this affect this different matter. Are we together? Okay, so on the first part of it, which I'll not discuss today, is just to look at some kinetic theory in these different phases, right? Now I want to focus today on thermal capacity or heat capacity, right? So let's just put that down. Let's say we're going to look today at thermal capacity. Okay, now we all already know that thermal is related to heat. What about the word capacity? What does it mean to you? I've been at 4 different schools, 2 private, 2 state schools. My wife did education in science and maths.
Okay.
In grade 11, you guys did quadratic equations and a linear equation. You end up with how many solutions when you solve this? 4. How do you get the 4 solutions? It means this equation is equal to that. Where they meet is where those 2 equations are equal to one another. Okay? So that means for that equation, you must equate those 2 equations. Are we together? Yes. So at that point where they meet, that is when these 2 equations are equal to each other. Are we following? Okay? So you equate the 2 and then you solve it. Are we following? Okay? So at that point you will end up with 4 solutions because your answer for the x squared, when you have a quadratic equation, you end up with 2 solutions. Now those 2 solutions of x will give you the value of y. Let's assume that the 2 values of x are 2 and 3. So for me to get my y value, I'll say 2 plus 1 and y is also equal to 3 plus 1. So I'll get the solution of 3 and the solution of 4. This is when x is equal to, when your x is equal to 2. And then here is when your x is equal to 3. So if I have to write the coordinate points, that means it's meeting at 2 and 3. And here it's meeting at the point 3 and 4. Are we together? Yes, ma'am. Because here I'll have an x value, a y value, an x value, and a y value.
Also now recently obtained her master's in mathematics education.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, and then the staff we work with are qualified. They're certified education or they are qualified in education in the subjects that we offer. So we have a team that we work with.
So this is basically not yet a graph, né? Your graph should have your what? Should have your x axis and then the what? The y axis and then the y axis, né? Now it becomes what? Now it becomes a graph. Are we together? So now this one's become a graph. Remember that whenever you are drawing or constructing a graph, ensure that it's having the y-axis and the x-axis. Now on the x-axis are values or points of the x coordinates. Are we together? Or the x points, né? So on the y-axis, they are basically what? What? The y points. Are we together? Are we together, class? I want you to know these basic things.
How many staff members do you have in Platonic Academy? And just mention a little bit about the subjects that they are teaching.
We have 3 subject teachers that's assisting us with physics, chemistry, and biology. And then I would also just help with the science as well. And then my wife would help with the mathematics. And we have 1 supporting staff, which is basically just keeping everything intact here at school. So I would say about 4 people that are part of our team.
Now that's for math, physical science, biology, and English,
yes.
or?
Yes, the English one, the reason why I haven't mentioned it is we work sort of like on a subcontract with them. So until we get a good memorandum of understanding between us, then we would make a permanent type of thing with them. But they are part of us. Yes,
okay.
Yeah.
And these staff members, sorry to ask this, but I have to ask, these people, they have gone through the interview process and they have a fixed salary?
Yes, yes, they've gone through it. And I'm very happy with them. These are young teachers, dynamic, and they have a drive. They bought into the vision, and we have a good team to work with.
So what's the vision for Platonic Academy? Where do you see a Platonic Academy in the next 5 years, let's say?
It's constantly changing in the near future vision. But long-term vision, I would say, in my 7 to 8 years of teaching, I've seen there's a big gap in terms of creativity and thinking outside the box within science subjects. So the vision is basically to equip these young minds and empower them, transform their way of thinking, whereby we want to the future leaders. We want to really have this paradigm shift and cut out this consumer mentality in them, whereby we could use our natural resources to add value ourselves.
Exactly.
And then we could help the economy of the country and then the economy of the African nation at large. So that is where we are looking into, because even our slogan says we want to empower, we want to inspire, we want to transform young minds in maths and science, because it's not just abstract. It's not just, it needs to have meaning.
Exactly.
What can you do with all the science that you've been taught at school? How can you take a raw material and then how can you add value to that? And of course, how can you trade and all those different things? So that's the long-term vision. Basically, we want to teach science in a lab. Not just from a textbook where we could show them that this is how it works.
Exactly.
And this is what you can make with it. Just to give you an example, I remember back when I was a child, my grandmother used to make soap from animal fat. And some ingredients that she was buying from the shop, like sodium carbonate, which we use for different purposes in the kitchen, and then she would put it in and then she'd stir, and then at some stage you've got this soap,
the good bar soap.
Yes, and that's just science.
Exactly.
And they were doing it without understanding the dynamics. And I mean, just look at soap. We use it, it's essential, we use it every day.
Exactly.
I had to bath this morning. So we import these things, and we could simply do it here. We could get that oils from sunflower. We could really make it work. Yeah, so that's the kind of mindset that we want to encourage.
Exactly. Just moving away from theory and also putting it into practice, what you have been teaching here.
Exactly.
At the beginning you mentioned that you want to turn the academy into a private school, but I just want to know, is it just going to be a private school for science, or will you also accommodate now other subjects like social subjects, or is it strictly going to be a science private school?
At this point in time, we're looking into maths and science. Like I said, the vision was to really encourage out-of-the-box thinking.
Yes.
And I'm not limiting it to it, but that would be the first phase.
Okay.
To start with the maths and science, and then we see how it unfolds. It's not just the maths and science that needs help. Of course, you can do that in the lab, but you also need some form of business skills.
Exactly.
And then entrepreneurship, and then you can also have that, because you need this whole group to work together. So, but as a start, we'd like to start there.
Exactly. And as a start, you're starting right now in Windhoek, but long term, do you see yourself branching out of Windhoek, going outside different cities?
Yes, of course. What helps with that branching out at this point in time is the online platform. So we have students that are not based in Windhoek, and then we would really want to establish that, so that we can reach even not just here in Namibia, maybe on international borders as well. That could be the first point. But of course, I believe that teaching, you need that human element, face-to-face connections.
Exactly.
I need to see that the child is puzzled. I need to feel that, so with that, we would really look at, different areas in Namibia to set up different centers. So of course, that is
in the pipeline. You're thinking about that.
Yes.
Right. I'm Charlotte Egas. I'm a learner at Jan Hoor Secondary School. I'm grade 11. And I've been at this Platonic Academy for 4 years now. So I've been here since grade 8. And my experience is that basically when I started high school, I always wanted to go for the easier subjects, which is the commerce subjects and the forth. And then my first year I started here, and it was mainly science and math. So when I started learning this, it was very interesting. And I saw Mr. and Mrs. Mungunda made it the simplest thing to me. And since then, I have a passion for science. Basically, science. And I would love to study science.
I'm Nicola Nitschka. I attend St. Paul's College. At the moment, I'm grade 12. And I joined Platonic Academy at the end of last year, just before my external exams. It has had a great impact on my academic marks, and then it really releases or makes my stress less in grade 12, because you need to balance your stress and your schoolwork, and that's why I came back this year, because they offer science and math, and that's the subjects I need for the course I want to take further in tertiary education.
Hi, my name is Frances Kuriras. I'm grade 11D at Rocky Crest High School. I've been with Platonic Academy for a month now, and I see a change in my schoolwork, especially in math. I used to be an E student, now I moved up to C, which is very good, and I love it here. It's a very good experience.
My name is Sean Sabetani. I'm a grade 12 learner at Vinuk Technical High School. I joined Platonic Academy 2017. At the time I was grade 8. The reason I joined Platonic Academy is because my grade 8 year, the first term and second term, I failed all my subjects. Then Ms. Mungunda approached me for extra classes to help me with my schoolwork. Since I joined the third term grade 8, I passed my grade 8 third term. That's when my mother decided that I should come back grade 9. I came back grade 9. I passed all my terms because of Platonic Academy. Platonic Academy doesn't only help you with your schoolwork, it also helps you with spirituality, and it brings you closer to God. It helps us to communicate with one another and be friendly towards each other. Since I showed my dedication since grade 8 up till grade 12, by showing that I could change because I was a very naughty boy, Platonic Academy offered me a scholarship, and I'm very grateful for that.
Earlier on, I had interviews with the students, and one of them is the beneficiary of a scholarship here. So tell me a little bit about the scholarship. Like, how do they qualify for them to get this scholarship from the school? And what scholarship it is?
At this point in time, the scholarship is basically, we look at different criteria. Firstly, the dedication, the commitment of the student, and also the background of the student, from where they're coming from. Are they orphans? Are they, you understand? So my wife and I discussed this, and then we feel like we also want to just lend a helping hand. So we have identified 2 to 3 the students per grade at this point, whereby we would approach them and say, the parents, that we would like to offer this because we've seen this dedication from the learner, and then we see the potential that this learner is having to have a positive impact in our country in the future. So it is not formal, whereby they have to so basically we have identified and this happened that we have spend some time with them, like
exactly
3 to 4 years with them for us to see this. But at some stage we would like to formalize it. We would say there's a set number of scholarships that we are offering. So the scholarship is from Platonic Academy. Within Platonic Academy, that they don't have to pay for the monthly fees, or sometimes we assist here and there with a textbook or maybe stationery here and there. So we try to help when we can.
On a lighter note, before we close off, at the beginning of the year, when the results are coming out, your students pass, they send you those messages. How do you feel?
I don't know if I can describe that feeling. So, that emotion, sometimes I wouldn't want to say cry, but my eyes are sweating. But yes, you feel that, like, not just for your sake, but that you could make that change in that child's life, and that they appreciate that.
Exactly.
And then, that could go a long way. And also, a very strong foundation from our side is that we are Christian based. So we believe in expanding God's kingdom. And then within this youngsters, or this group that we're working with, which is such a perfect platform for us to influence them. So it really makes us feel, I don't know, I can't describe the feeling, but I feel it's a good feeling. It's a good feeling. And I would want that student to pass it on to the next, so it's nice. It's nice. Of course, you have those moments where you feel like they could have done better, or they could have passed. But it's a bit of everything.
Yeah, maybe to you that you feel like maybe they could have done better. Because when I was talking to the students, they're like, I used to get an F symbol, now I'm at a C symbol, and to them that is such a great achievement that the academy has done for them. And so, Mr. Mungunda, before I let you go, what would you encourage someone who wants to start a business out there? What would you tell them? Not even just a business, somebody who just wants to start, but they feel like something is holding them back. So what would you like to tell them? You can look into that camera and you can talk to them.
Thank you for the opportunity. I would say, sometimes our worst enemy is ourselves. Like I remember, I don't know whether it's Les Brown or one of these motivational guys said, if there's no enemy within, there's no enemy at all. Yeah, so sometimes we procrastinate and we try to, make all sorts of excuses not to do something. But just start.
Exactly.
That's the thing. Just start and then let the ball start moving. We wouldn't be here if we didn't start with those two brothers.
Exactly.
Yeah, so just start. And of course you'll face challenges. Even now we face challenges. But that should just, whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger. You stand up, you dust yourself off, and it's not about how hard you fall, but how fast you can rise.
Exactly.
So my last point would just to say, just start. Just start with whatever you have. Just start. Yeah.
All right, thank you. So where can we reach you? Your social media, your telephone? I know you gave us the website, you can still repeat it, but just where can the people find you, your physical address, details about Platonic Academy?
The first point of contact would be to call us.
Okay.
So you could call us on 081 2058 011. That's 081 2058 011. And then you could also send us a WhatsApp on that number. That's the first point of contact. If you want to know where we are located in Windhoek, we are in Paunis Park Extension 1 in Erasmus Street at Polinium. So Polinium and us, we are sharing a space. That's where they have the theology center. And then you could also reach us again on our website. That's where most of our information is on www.pan.edu.na. And we've got a Facebook page, Platonic Academy Namibia. We've got an Instagram page that says all lowercase, platonic.academy.namibia. And we also have a Twitter page where you can tweet us, you can follow us there at PAN_edu_Namibia. We also have a page on LinkedIn.
Okay.
So on LinkedIn, it's just simply Platonic Academy. And then you could also email us on info@pan.edu.na. But the easiest is just to first call us and then we can clarify whatever questions you have.
All right. Thank you so much for the information. Thank you so much for being here. We wish you all the best with Platonic Academy, with your students and with your staff members. We really appreciate you being on the show.
Thank you so much.
All right. All right. In the words of Mr. Mungunda, just start. As I always say, the time to do it is now, not tomorrow, not the next day. I'll be seeing you next time. Thank you so much for watching Africa Speaks. From Miss Sij, it's goodbye.